The George Plaster Show. Hope you'll join me, Kelly Holcomb, and Billy Derrick Monday through Friday on 94.9 The Fan from 3 to 5 p.m. Talk sports with the Plaz. The George Plaster Show. Weekday afternoons at 3 on 94.9 The Fan and the Game Nashville Sports Network.
Your sports live here. WBUZ HD3 Laverne. We are the Game Nashville Sports Network. ESPN 94.9 The Fan.
30 years of the best sports talk in Middle Tennessee. It's the George Plaster Show, featuring Tennessee Sports Hall of Famers Kelly Holcomb and young gun Billy Derrick. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome in on a beautiful Wednesday. You can probably tell in the background, we're at the Ford Ice Center in Bellevue. First time we've been here in about 2.5 weeks. It's a little different, but you know what? It feels good to be back home. Hope the Predators, who, as a lot of you know, held their training camp here. Here's hoping for a great season and a good kickoff through the folks at the Ford Ice Center in Bellevue. Let me, at the very beginning, tell all of you what's been going on here. You've noticed for the last few days that my buddy Kelly Holcomb has not been with us. His father is very ill down toward Fayetteville, Tennessee, which is at the bottom of southern Middle Tennessee, and not doing well at all. I hope you'll keep Kelly and his family in your thoughts and prayers. I talked to him earlier. There is a chance he will join us today, but as I have told him, don't worry about us. Family in this case comes first, and we just want Kelly to know that we're thinking about him. Okay, Parker Kelly, his first show from the Ford Ice Center in Bellevue. What do you think?
It's nice when I end up getting to the right one.
Well, you know, that's what you and Kelly have in common, because several years ago, we were going to do some photo op, some stupid deal. And what can I say? He'll join us at 3:40 today. So I'm getting word that you all can hear us. Those of you trying to hear it on YouTube, let me know in the notes section whether that is happening or not. Okay, so we'll start the show with the update. Terry will join us at 3:40.
Our update is brought to you by Our Football Night in Nashville. Come join us at Sports and Social in Green Hills Mall on Thursday night as San Francisco travels to LA to take on the Rams. And George, news coming out of VA that Brian Snicker, it was announced, the Atlanta Braves announced that Brian Snicker would not return as the manager in 2026. This is the first time the Braves have missed the World Series the playoff, the postseason, since 2017. However, he will be serving in a senior advisory role.
Okay, I'm going to lay it out there the way I'm pretty damn sure it went down. Brian Snitker wasn't given a choice in this, and I think that's dead wrong. Snitker, in my opinion, has earned the right to figure this out on his own. I don't think he was given that option. If that's the case, shame on Alex Anthopoulos, because Brian Snitker deserves better than that. Here's what I don't understand. If I'm right and the decision was not Brian Snitker's, why in the hell did they not tell him ahead of time so there could be some big celebration on Sunday or sometime over the weekend to say thank you for all these years of service? For me, yeah, there are times that from a strategy standpoint, I would kind of shake my head. But here's what I know about Brian Snitker. His players absolutely loved him, and that ought to account for something. And secondly, this guy has been in the Braves organization for 49 years. And when Freddie Gonzalez had this team in the toilet in 16, Brian Snitker stepped in and fixed this issue. And, of course, won a World Series in 2021. So, for me, thank you, Brian Snitker, for all those years of service. Wow.
And not to mention the World Series wasn't too long ago, 2021.
2021.
4 years ago.
Yep.
So some MLB postseason action as Tigers and Guardians is wrapping up in the top of the ninth. George, you were talking to me about this on my way in. The Guardians are up 6-1. They look to even that series 1-1, and they will be playing a game 3 tomorrow from the looks of it.
Yeah, and there really have not been in these 2 out of 3s a lot of that. And, I don't know. It looks like Cleveland's going to win. Unfortunately, I don't have it on right now. So let me go to my trusty deal. 6-1 Cleveland top 9. So the likelihood is there's going to be a third and deciding game in Cleveland tomorrow. Go ahead with the rest of it.
And the Cubs, they are underway in from Wrigley Field. The Padres are up 1-0 in the top of the 4th. No outs from the looks of it. Any thoughts on the Cubs?
Yeah, I don't get, I'm kind of rooting for the Cubs. I love this story, and I love at the end of the game when they sing "Go Cubs Go." So they got a really good pitching performance yesterday, and why they had to go with Kittredge out of the bullpen, essentially in a deal where Imanaga came on in the second inning. I mean, let's cut the crap. Imanaga needs to learn how to pitch in the first inning. And if you have to hide him this late in the season, wow.
As somebody who has been in Wrigley Field several times to witness the Go Cubs Go, to me, there's not many traditions like that in sports. Moving on to the NFL, this was big news that broke this morning. Ian Rappaport reported this, Adam Schefter. The Browns are making a move at quarterback as they are turning to third-round selection rookie quarterback Dylan Gabriel to be their QB1 Sunday in London against the Minnesota Vikings. Joe Flacco will be the backup. Shadur Sanders will remain the third string.
So I'm going to go on the assumption that as messed up as the Browns have been over the years, and they've been a dumpster fire, that the Cleveland Browns are like every other NFL team, and they want to win. And whether they have evaluated properly or improperly, at this moment, they feel very strongly that Dylan Gabriel gives them a whole lot better shot to win than Shadur Sanders. Now, you're going to hear a lot of this talk in the coming weeks, and Gabriel, it would sure help the Browns if he played well early to knock off all that talk.
From what he was able to do in the preseason and based off of his play in college, he fits a Kevin Stefanski system perfectly. So the more you look at that, the more you actually watch the film instead of just judging based off of the name value, it makes sense why they went to this move. Joe Flacco did struggle in their last game. He threw a couple of interceptions. Staying in the NFL, this one is pretty shocking and heartbreaking at the same time, but 3-time All-Pro linebacker Shaquille Leonard is retiring as a member of the Indianapolis Colts. this was a guy that was on pace to be one of the all-time greats at the position. But, man, you talk about injuries derailing a career. This is evidence of that.
I mean, let's just say it the way it is. If you've ever been down on a field for a pro football game, and I have, it is brutal. I mean, this is not two-hand touch. They are knocking the crap out of each other. It's a violent game. Injuries, unfortunately, are a huge piece of football, and you see it later in life with a lot of the players. That's the sausage that nobody wants to talk about, is the 50 and 55-year-olds who can't walk.
Yeah, and it only gets worse because the number of season-ending or injuries that put you on the IR, it seems like it's really up this year through 4 weeks. And the Arizona Cardinals announced today that running back Trey Benson, who is in his second year with the team, he underwent arthroscopic surgery on his meniscus and is expected to be sidelined 4 to 6 weeks. This is bad news for the Cardinals because James Conner, who is their RB1, had a season-ending foot injury and was also placed on the IR. So their top 2 backs are now on the injured reserve.
Although I will say this, if you're going to have injuries, running back to me is the easiest place to fill.
And it's not like they're without running backs. They still have Amari DeMercado, Michael Carter, Bam Knight, who were both of those were members of the New York Jets last year. So it's unfortunate. It could be good news for the Titans. Obviously, no injuries are a good thing, but for the Titans on Sunday, it might be a good thing.
Yeah, whatever. Did you sense there a little sarcasm from me?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Jets running back Braylon Allen is out indefinitely with a knee injury as well.
Yeah.
Tough year to be a running back.
It is.
That's all I have.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let me see if we've got a final out of Cleveland real quickly before we go to the break. It's 1 out, runner at first, and the Guardians leading right now 6-1. The Padres 1-0 top 4, and we will keep you updated throughout the show. After the break, the hardest working man in Nashville sports, that happens to be the Tennesseans' Mike Organ. Old Mike will be joining us after the break, so get ready. This is the George Plaster Show.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
A golf cart from Mikey's Motors is the perfect way to get around this summer. Whether you're going to the park, the pool, or the playground, do it in a brand new golf cart from Mikey's Motors, Franklin and Murfreesboro.
Summertime fun in Tennessee. That's what we sell at Mikey's Motors. Come see how we roll.
For the fans, it's easy to say good things about the folks at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers. Number one, I trust them with something that's near and dear to me, the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. But more importantly, I see the fun people have. They enjoy the bowling. They enjoy the camaraderie, and you will too. Come by any of their locations and get ready to have some fun.
At Wilson Bank and Trust, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between personal service and digital solutions. As your local independent bank, we're proud to offer the relationships and trusted service you expect, along with the tools and technology that keep you moving forward. So whether you're growing a business, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to help. Because this isn't just where we work, it's where we live too. Wilson Bank and Trust, here to get you there. Member FDIC.
Are you looking for expert medical care in Nashville without leaving your home? Medical House Calls brings concierge-level health care directly to your door. Whether you need urgent attention, ongoing primary care, revitalizing IV therapy, or medically guided weight loss, our experienced providers are just a phone call away. at 615-838-2375 or go online, medicalhousecalls.com. This is my buddy Stan Harrison from Apple Collision Centers. Recently, you've been talking to me about companies that have a
FamilyTimmons.com.
This is my buddy Stan Harrison from Apple Collision Centers. If you are paying too much for your health insurance, you know what? You need to contact the folks at Pancoast Benefits. Pancoast works with businesses and individuals to tackle the high cost of health insurance. Whether you're a business owner, large or small, self-employed, between jobs, or over the age of 65 and in need of a Medicare plan, Pancoast can help. They make understanding your benefits less difficult and more personal. So check them out today, pancoastbenefits.com, or call them at 615-292-3400. Okay, here we go. Let us begin with the hardest working man in Nashville sports, and that is Mike Organ from the Tennessean. He joins us by phone. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing good, George. I hope, as far as all sports go, I hope the Titans are working a little harder than me. They got a little bit more than me to do, but I'm doing good.
Okay, since you brought up the subject, Mike, what kind of feedback are you getting from listeners and viewers and whatever? Because I have noticed a real anger that keeps getting worse and worse with each passing week.
Yeah, they've not done anything to deter that, the negativity. They add to it every week. Not one thing you could put your finger on this week other than absolutely no offense. And you hired an offensive guy and a play caller, and he changes the play calling duties, and they don't score any points at all. You know, the feeling, George, and I'm sure y'all have talked about this, is not a if, but when Callahan will be relieved of his duties. You might not be saying that if Amy had a different track record, but fans know enough to know that she's not gonna. And I hate to say put up with it, because that kind of makes her look good. It's her lack of patience that's gotten them where they are today, and her bad choices. So fans know that she's quick to pull the trigger, I guess is what I should say. And that's what pretty much everybody that's what I hear from people I talk to, from the readers that we hear from, is, when's it going to happen?
Yeah, this feels like not an if, but when. You said it earlier, and I happen to agree with that. This, let me say it this way, barring something better on the field soon, I don't think it can be anything but that. And I get the feeling that's what you're saying too.
It is, and I'll even go as far as to say I don't see how anything on the field could improve, short of getting their offensive line back fully intact, and I mean fully. That's the only thing that I think could get him through the year and help Cam Ward perform a little bit better, help the running game be more productive. With or without Tajay Spears, if the offensive line was back intact, I think that's a possibility. And that is the only way I see out of this, is that they're able to start scoring some points. Defense is okay. But it's not great. It is hard to continue to play well when you're on the field so much, and the other team it finally starts scoring in the second half, which is what we saw last week. So, if the defense was to stay as it is now, and the offensive line got back intact, that's the only path I see that could save this staff.
Mike, am I right that you covered the Tennessee Tech TSU game Saturday?
Yes, I absolutely did. Sure did.
Okay, I want to go at it from two different angles and see what you think. Is there a scenario where Tennessee Tech is good enough that they might be one of the two teams that plays for the national title on that level over at Vandy in early January? Are they to that level?
Well, the powerhouses up in the Northwest are as strong as ever. As far as I know, and I know North Dakota State's good because I saw them just trounce Tennessee State. And Tennessee Tech did not have its way with Tennessee State the way that Tennessee Tech did, the way that North Dakota State did. But that was early in the season with the new staff at Tennessee State. This is a very good Tennessee Tech football team. They did not play very good Saturday, and I know the score is not indicative of that. The score looks like they had their way with Tennessee State, but I feel like if they played better, played up to their abilities, they're a team that's definitely going to be in the playoffs because OVC is not that strong. So they're going to be the OVC representative. And how far beyond that they get, I feel good about a couple of rounds. And I just don't know enough about the traditional powers as to whether they're going to be able to get back in it. I mean, like I said, it's really only a one position that's, I think, available because I think North Dakota State is going to get back in it. They got too many players back. They're just as good as they were last year. So I think they're going to be there. So there's that one slot open for the opponent. I do know the National Championship Committee was here about a month ago, and I met with them for a little bit, and they're pulling – they make no bones about the fact that they're pulling for Tennessee Tech. At the time, they didn't say that. They said any team from Tennessee would be great, and Tech has risen up above the rest of the teams in the state, UT Martin, Tennessee State, East Tennessee State, and Chattanooga. So I think they'd love to see that scenario play out where they have a local team playing a traditional power.
Okay, let's go to the TSU side of it. You put a picture out there on X, formerly known as Twitter, and I know some of you were shocked that I know that, showing a crowd that was pitiful. What's going on there?
The TSU has zero support, almost zero support right now. Their fan base has just dwindled to almost nothing. The few vocal fans you hear from say, well, if they'd go back and play on campus, then we'd support them. Well, that's not going to happen anytime soon because Hale Stadium has been condemned. So that's been the case about 3 years. So they're not going home. They're not going back there until something's done there. And that would have to mean tearing it down and building a new one, which takes 2 to 3 years. We see it going on at Tennessee Tech. You were up there and you saw that we're
Sure.
in the third year now. And yeah, and you saw that they're still not done up there. And so, if you're a true fan, you support your team wherever it plays. And unless this was some kind of an organized protest about that, which it's not, then I don't understand why people aren't showing up to see a team that finally broke through last year, went to the playoffs for the first time in 12 years. One of the best teams in the past quarter century that they put on the field. The coach moves on, Eddie George, but you're able to, even with financial restraints, you're able to get a really good head coach, a solid head coach in to replace him, and you still don't support him. George is as embarrassing as that crowd was, and I think what I put on X or Twitter was that there weren't 1,000 people, or there were only about 1,000 people when I took that picture. That picture was taken during the national anthem. And so you obviously, every game you have some late arrivals. So that crowd built to about, I think the official attendance was 2,100 is all that even got up to. And as small as that was, I don't think they had that many for the North Dakota State game, which is when they really needed to support their team up against the wall, against a powerhouse like North Dakota State. You get it to come here and play. It's like getting an FBS school to come and play you. And North Dakota State, which is about 1,000 miles away, had about 6,000 fans here, and Tennessee State had maybe 1,000. That was, to me, more embarrassing than what happened last Saturday. Now, last Saturday it was embarrassing because Tennessee Tech didn't bring anybody down here, which is a whole other subject altogether. Why Tennessee Tech fans can't drive 1 hour to see their nationally ranked team that you and I are sitting here talking about might go to the championship. I don't understand that at all. But they didn't bring anybody, so the stadium, which is way too big for programs like this to be playing in, looked almost empty with about 2,000 fans in it.
So let me ask this question, because this has been debated since before I was ever in sports talk radio. TSU's old stadium, nicknamed The Hole. Does TSU want to move back there?
There's a vocal group that wants to go back. The concern, George, is that as small as TSU's crowds are, they have zero students. No students show up for Tennessee State football games. And the reason, the blame is put on the fact that they play 3 miles from campus. Mm-hmm. And granted, it's a long 3 miles. It's not like being out in the country in 3 miles, you know what I mean, along a cornfield or something. It's a tough 3 miles to make if you don't have transportation. Now, in this day of Uber and Lyft and all that, it's easier, but it's tough for students to get there. And I think at Tennessee State, you still can't have a car on campus if you're a freshman. So that's your largest class. And if they don't have transportation, it is tough. And the argument is that if they moved back on campus and had a stadium on campus, that at least the students would show up. Well, about 6 or 7 years ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, interim president came in and she listened to that argument and she fixed up Hale Stadium, The Hole. She put $1 million in it to make it playable. And we saw a little bump. We saw 4, 5, 6,000 show up instead of 2, 3, or 4. And we saw students show up, but it wasn't astronomical. It wasn't, 15 or 20 or 10 or anything like that. But there will be further talk about building a stadium on campus, and we'll see if that comes together. And I do think that it is more conducive to getting students on to the games, but if they show up or not, we'll see. They'll have to win, obviously, like it is everywhere. But again, they're winning now, or they're coming off a 9-win season, and nobody's showing up at a big stadium.
Mike, this brings me back to something that went on, and I don't remember how many years ago it was, but Vanderbilt Athletics sent out a questionnaire of their ticket holders about how do you feel about an on-campus stadium versus something else. And the something else clearly was the soccer stadium, Geodis Park, owned by, call him what he is. John Ingram for years has been the team owner when it comes to Vanderbilt Athletics. Yeah. And I remember when that thing got sent out, that it was overwhelmingly, you stay at Dudley Field.
Absolutely. And that's the way it was at Tennessee State. Tennessee State was due a new stadium back in the late 90s. And the state cut a deal with Tennessee State at the time that, all right, we'll build Nissan Stadium, but you get to use it, which is kind of the thing that team owner John Ingram did at Vanderbilt. Well, I think Vanderbilt supporters remembered what happened to Tennessee State and said absolutely no. And again, it wasn't going to be that far away. Geodis Stadium's not that far away from Vanderbilt's campus. But and it's easier to get to right off the interstate. You can get off right there at 440. And but no, you're right. That was overwhelming that got shut down in a hurry. Any thought of doing that?
Okay, I'm hopscotching all over the place, so kind of bear with me here. I don't think there's any secret that Derek Mason at middle is on the hot seat, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
If something were to go down there, don't these two names end up getting in there somewhere? Bobby Wilder at Tennessee Tech, Jeff Ferris, Austin Peay.
Yeah, I think so. After dealing with my dealings with Bobby Wilder until this past couple of weeks were limited. I covered him last year when Tennessee State went up there and Tech beat them. But this week I had spent some more time with him before the game and after the game, and I'm really impressed with what he's done. I like the way that he and his longtime offensive coordinator, whose name I can't remember right off the top of my head, they've been together a long time, and they do the same thing. Wherever they end up, they build the offense, whatever it takes, around their personnel. Instead of, George, you and I have both been around so long and seen so many coaches come in and make the mistake of, we're going to force our will upon this program. We're going to make this program do what we do, whether we have the tools or not. The worst example of that of all times, or the greatest example of that of all times, was Rod Dowhauer at Vanderbilt, and who was trying to take a running offense, an option, or what was it that Jerry called it, the Donardo, the I-bone, had not recruited a throwing quarterback in 3 or 4 years, and Dowhauer is going to turn it into a passing team. Wilder doesn't do that, and he went into detail telling me about that, and that he thinks he's versatile enough and has a staff versatile enough to take whatever personnel he has and do the best with it. And he certainly proved that at Tennessee Tech. Now, having a quarterback transfer in from a FCS power from Eastern Washington helped do that, or helped him in that process. But I think that, yeah, there's no doubt, there's not the animosity that used to exist between MTSU and Tennessee Tech, where they were so hated that I've known of MTSU MTSU coaches who would not stop on the interstate in Cookeville to get gas, even if they were on empty, because they didn't want their tax dollars going to the Cookeville government, which somehow might make it back to Tennessee Tech. So there's not that animosity. And I think MTSU would have to take a look at Bobby Wilder. And Jeff Ferris now has Austin Peay ranked in the top 25 again. Austin Peay keeps coming up with great coaches who get them to the top level on FCS, and then they lose that coach to bigger programs, and then they go and get other coaches who do the same thing. So that's two names that I think you'd see right off the bat. I think you'd see an Eddie George name get mentioned. Eddie was a candidate when Derek was hired. They talked to Eddie at MTSU, and this was before, mind you, the success Eddie had at Tennessee State. This was before he had one winning season, one game above 500, but he had not had the 9-win season like he had last year in the playoffs. So I think Eddie would get a look there too, which, Eddie would love to come back to this area.
Oh, absolutely. So you haven't met Parker Kelly yet, have you?
No, I have not.
Okay. Parker, say hello to Mike Organ. Mike Organ, say hello to Parker.
Mike, it's a pleasure to talk to you. You do a great job with the Tennessee, and really happy to have you on the show today.
All right, Parker. Now, this is Parker, and this is not somebody impersonating Parker, who is my nemesis, right? Is that correct?
No, this is not your nemesis, at least not yet. So,
okay.
Wow.
No, okay.
I'm just kidding.
No, George, I've been hoodwinked a couple of times waiting for you by a certain employee there at the radio station that has called to get me lined up and claimed to be Parker.
Oh,
that was me.
Wait a minute.
That was me.
Been.
That was me. Yeah.
No. Now, Joe Dubin has called a few times and claimed to be Parker.
I love it.
He has said, "This is Parker," and then he'll start asking me, what kind of questions do I want to talk about, and blah blah blah, and it just gets a little bit too far fetched before I figure it out.
I love it. Dubin is such a
I just
trip.
want to make sure this was Parker. Yeah, this is the real Parker.
This is the real Parker.
The real Parker. Wow.
Okay, I have one question for you. So it seems like the overall talent in terms of teams, specifically in the FCS division of college football in the state of Tennessee, have risen compared to, when I was in high school 5 years ago. You think about Tennessee Tech and the UT Martins. Even Tennessee State has had some success in recent years. What do you make of that overall?
You cut out, Parker. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, of course. So it seems like, compared to when I was in high school, the overall talent of teams in the state of Tennessee at the FCS division of college football, it wasn't to where it's at now. You think about Tennessee Tech being nationally ranked, the fact that we're even having conversations of them competing for a national championship with the North Dakota States, the South Dakota States, the teams like that. Tennessee State has had some success in recent years. ETSU, Chattanooga, UT Martin. What do you make of the collective talent overall in the FCS in the state of Tennessee?
You're exactly right. Matter of fact, I wrote a little sub-story, a sidebar last week about the fact that there were, I want to say, 87 players from the state of Tennessee on the Tennessee Tech and Tennessee State rosters combined. And it was almost even. It was about like 43 and 44 or something like that. What I make of that is two things. One, I believe that for far too long, the coaches at the schools you mentioned overlooked the talent that was here. I think there was talent in this state, but they had already established a recruiting target in Georgia or Alabama or Ohio, because that's what everybody was doing, and that was the thought that that's where the greatest players were, or Florida. Many coaches were guilty of doing that, and they continued to do it even though there were players right here in their own backyard. And it finally dawned on some of these guys that, hey, we don't have to go down there to get good players, or up there, or wherever they were going. So I think that was part of it. And the other thing is, I think that high school football has elevated. I know that high school football has elevated, especially in Middle Tennessee, but also across the state. You get into Chattanooga with Baylor and McCallie and some of those schools, and then up in East Tennessee with Oak Ridge and Catholic and some of those schools. And Memphis has always been pretty good too. And I think that the level of play has improved across the state. So what you're saying is true. And I think those are the two reasons that it's true, is that the coaches finally started looking in state, and the talent level rose in state.
That do it? I guess that did do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, a few words for you.
You look at the Lipscombs and the Ensworths and the FRAs and the BGAs and even the city schools, where now with open enrollment, the best players can go where they want. So you got the Pearl Cones and the East Nashvilles, and the quality has risen, and there's no denying that.
You got that right. Listen, appreciate your taking the time as always. Good stuff. Try to behave, and we'll talk again next Wednesday.
Hopefully no more prank calls from Big Joe.
I'll be wary. Thanks, guys.
Okay, take care. That's hilarious. Joe Dubin loves pulling those kind of stunts.
Oh, my gosh.
That's hilarious.
He's done it so many times with Mike.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Late word, Cleveland won their game. Let me make sure before I say that officially. Yep. Cleveland won 6-1. So there will be a third and deciding game tomorrow in that series. And it sure looks like the same is going to happen with the Cubbies. Manny Machado, 2-run homer, top of the 5th inning. San Diego increases their lead to 3-0. They have gone to their bullpen now, and they're going to ask for 5 full innings of really good baseball out of what is perhaps the deepest bullpen in all of baseball. After the break, Terry McCormick will join us. We'll find out what Cam Ward had to say, and whatever he said, do I know what it means? This is the George Plaster Show.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
This is my buddy Stan Harrison from Apple Collision Centers. Recently, you've been talking to me about companies that have a fleet of trucks and they're always in need of repairs.
That's right, George. We understand that nobody likes to deal with the auto body repair process. We try to simplify that at our 3 convenient locations. We work with all major insurance companies. We help to ease the stress of the auto body repair process. We're located in Old Hickory, Hendersonville, and Gallatin. If you need our services, please stop by and see us.
And how convenient that we have that in the background. Now, seriously, these are good folks. They do really good work. Give them a holler. Sports and Social at Green Hills Mall is the new home for our football night in Nashville promotion. Their food is terrific. Their TV setup looks like a racing sports book in Vegas. And if you're a sports fan, you can't beat it. Starting September the 4th, we'll broadcast from Sports and Social every Thursday night. There's Pop-A-Shot, great football, and the chance to win a beautiful Mikey's Motors golf cart. See you at Sports and Social in Green Hills Mall. Venture Express has been helping people in this area for more than 40 years. They're headquartered in Murfreesboro with over 30 years of dedicated fleets involving production, manufacturing, and corrugated experiences. They're an asset-based company with over 700 tractors, 4,000 trailers, and 800 drivers. If you need their help, dial them up 615-793-9500 or log on to ventureexpress.com. And here's Officer Darren Hoskins for the Metro Nashville Police Department.
The Metro Nashville Police Department is on the forefront of policing in this century, and I'm glad I'm a part of it. I'm glad I get to find other good officers, other future good officers. And if you're watching today, or you yourself or someone you happen to know is interested, join MNPD.com. Feel free to reach out to us because we need good officers, and it's a great city to work for.
We are back. Normally, we begin the show during football season with Terry McCormick's daily Titans update. However, he needed a little extra time today because Cam Ward was going to speak to the media. Terry joins us from his patrol car. Terry, can you explain to me what Aaron Boone was doing lifting Max Fried?
No, I cannot. That's if understand your team needs a manager. If you'd like Aaron Boone, we can make him available to you.
Keep you competitive, and yet your guy screwed it up. I don't get it. That one was a big head scratcher to me.
Yeah, I think I would have rode him a little bit longer. And also, I get that Crochet was pitching a great game and, that you wanted to stack the lineup with some more right-handers against the lefty. But I think I got to get Ben Rice's bat in the lineup somehow or other. And Jazz Chisholm, too, for that matter.
Okay, enough of that. And go Red Sox tonight. I notice you're not wearing that nasty hat. What did Cam Ward have to say today, and are you going to have to translate any of it for me?
No, won't have to do any translation today, George. But one of the things that they've been working with him on is to refine his footwork, which means his movement in the pocket as he goes through his reads.
We didn't lose him.
They want him to have a good base up underneath him when he throws, and in order to do that, they want him to try and set his feet. And every time he moves his eyes to look at another receiver, they want him to, move his feet as well and readjust. And that's one of the things they're having to work.
I think one of the chords might have.
Terry, hang with us because it sounds like something may have happened technically that made it virtually impossible to hear you.
All right.
So as soon as I get the signal, I'll re-ask the question. Just bear with me here for a minute. Terry, talk. Let's make sure we got you.
Okay, George, can you hear me now?
We don't.
You don't hear me. Oh boy. All right. You want to just call me by phone? You want to call me and we'll do it that way?
Yeah. Call him by
See if
phone.
that'll work. Okay.
Yeah, we can call him by phone.
Yeah,
that's what we'll do.
Let's
All right,
get him
do
on
that.
Try to straighten all this out. So Cam Ward spoke to the media earlier today, and we're going to have a segment around 4:20 today that will get into Cam Ward in really a concerning stat, which is that at the present rate, he's going to get sacked 72 times this year. That's how you ruin rookie quarterback. Some of which is an offensive line that continues to struggle. Some of it is he's holding the ball too long. And we'll get into all of that. Okay, I'm told Terry's back with us. Terry, what did he have to say today?
We don't hear Terry. Do you hear Terry, George?
No, I don't.
Yeah, well, that's what we're getting back from the station. I wonder if he's just in a dead spot. It looks like he was in the car. So
yeah, I don't know.
But we were talking about. Oh, I just got a text from Billy. We're working through it.
Yeah.
Four corner stall is what you call it?
It is what I call it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're in right now.
You may have to hold that stall just a little longer.
Cubs are in the bottom of the fifth inning against San Diego. It's 3-0. I don't really know what else to do. So we appear to be in time only has been called, and I don't really know what else to try to do at this point, other than to tell you that now they have gone to the top of the sixth inning at Wrigley, 3-0 Padres. Games tonight are Boston and New York.
Hey, so I'll tell you what.
Cincinnati.
And I moved my computer.
8
and
o'clock.
that's my issue.
And
So I don't know if I accidentally
I
clicked
have no
something
idea.
or everything looks plugged into me, and I've kind of
Hopefully
jiggled everything around. But
straightened out soon.
The computer that I use, I moved it slightly, and then that's when everything went to crap. So, yeah.
So you're trying everything.
I literally just moved it towards me a little bit so the camera could get a little bit better view. That's all I did.
It doesn't quite appear that that's going to happen.
Yeah, no, the roadcasts are showing up.
I'd love to.
It doesn't. Levels look good,
but it's not. So, okay, I have no idea if we dare try this or not with Terry.
Move it to instrument, then dynamic.
Let's see.
Yeah, I just did that right now. Let's see if it works.
Okay, let's see if we can bring Terry. Terry, are you there?
I can hear you, George. Can you hear me?
I'm not hearing you. I know somebody is.
I can hear him. I can hear you.
That's great. Terry, if you will, kind of tell people what Cam Ward had to say today.
Well, he talked a lot about his
work.
That's one of the things that the Titans are trying to get him to refine, as he goes through his reads to reset his feet and make sure that he's got a good throwing base underneath him. And, I asked Brian Callahan, shouldn't guys who are at this level already have that skill? And he likened it to how a golfer will always be willing to tweak his golf swing to make it better. And that's what they're trying to do with Cam, is try to get his footwork better so that he can throw a more accurate pass, because I think you saw a lot Sunday in Houston where he was off the mark quite a bit on several of those throws.
Terry is.
Hello, George?
We're working on George's mic right now. I'll go ahead and handle the questions until we get that back. So you were just talking about Cam Ward, and I wanted to shift the focus to the Arizona Cardinals because I know that they had another running back go on injured reserve today in Trey Benson. Do you foresee that being a good thing for the Titans defense now that the Cardinals are without both of their RB1 and RB2?
Yeah, obviously it's an adjustment. A lot of times, of all the positions on the field, running back can be one of the most plug and play. And the guy that they used, number 31, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name, the other night against the Seahawks, got a little taste of action, and he's probably going to carry the load a lot more. They even signed Jamar Jefferson, who was with the Titans during training camp, to their practice squad. So, yeah, they're going to be a little bit banged up and a little bit suspect at the running back position. But the other thing you got to remember, too, with the Cardinals, and the Titans are very, very much going to have to defend this, is the dual threat of Kyler Murray, because not only can he throw it, he can take off and run it and really make huge plays with his feet when the play breaks down, or even on design runs.
And in terms of Cam Ward, because I know there have been, with J.C. Latham's health, the right tackle situation is kind of in a turnstile. Do you see them on Sunday kind of trying to move the pocket a little bit more in terms of getting Cam Ward out on the run, whether that be to the left or right, in order to not make him have to speed up his feet so much in the pocket?
Yeah, I think that there needs to be some of that, because that's kind of what he excelled at Miami. Making off-schedule plays and throws on the run and things like that. And I get that you want him to eventually become a drop-back passer. But right now, I think one of the things you have to do, even while you're trying to develop him into that, you got to let him be him. You remember when Lamar Jackson started as a rookie for the Ravens, they didn't ask him to sit in the pocket and read a defense and go to his third read. He can do that kind of stuff now. But when he was a rookie, they didn't ask him to do that. They said, do what you can do, and we'll tailor the offense to make that work. And I think that's some of what the Titans are going to have to do with Cam Ward, is to get him in a comfort zone doing the things that he's comfortable with and was comfortable with in college that will translate at this level, and then build it from there.
Well, Terry, we certainly appreciate you working around our technical difficulties. You're doing a great job. We always appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Parker.
All right. That was Terry McCormick with our Daily Titans update. We are going to take a break and hopefully get everything situated by the time we get back for the 4 o'clock hour. This is the George Plaster Show.
Laundry piling up? Make it easier with the latest washers and dryers from Electronic Express. We carry top brands like LG, Samsung, Speed Queen, Whirlpool, and GE. So whether you need an all-in-one unit, stacked unit, front load, or top load, we've got that. With free delivery, the guaranteed lowest prices, and up to 24 months free financing, upgrading your laundry room has never been easier. Find your perfect setup in-store or online, only at Electronic Express. We've got that.
Music City's Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway is back in action Saturday, October 4th. It's Fall Thunder and Breast Cancer Awareness Night with the pro late models and 7 fast-paced divisions of racing. On the quarter mile, get ready for the thrills and spills at America's favorite short track. Grandstands open at 3 and racing at 5. Kids 11 and under are free. Discount tickets will be available online at NashvilleFairgroundsSpeedway.racing or the box office at 615-254-1986. Nashville Fairgrounds. Be there.
For 100 years, Pella Windows and Doors has been making the highest quality products in the industry. As part of the Nashville community, it's our turn to say thank you. Join us for a special customer appreciation celebration on October 4th from 10 to 3 p.m. Come to either our Hendersonville or Franklin showrooms for a celebration of food, fun, and festivities. Bring the kids for fun family activities and browse our exclusive offers on windows and doors. That's October 4th from 10 to 3 at both Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville locations.
Now, here's your latest Fox 17 Code Red weather report.
I'm Fox 17 meteorologist Brett Luna. We're starting out October warm, sunny, and dry. Highs will be in the upper 80s today and tomorrow. We'll stay dry through the weekend and then finally bring in a chance for a few showers by Monday. This weekend will be in the mid-80s.
Your sports live here on the Game Nashville Sports Network.
More than 200 members of Congress are standing up for AM radio listeners. The AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act will keep AM radio in cars, because when cell and internet services are down, this free service could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 39179. Tell Congress to pass this critical legislation now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
1972, a Nashville family business story began when Bill and Beverly Finley founded Volunteer Hose and Gasket. 3 generations have grown the business into the local industry leader, supplying just about anything to anybody, from the largest of contractors to your neighbor that mows his own yard. Over 1 million items in stock: belts, belting accessories, gaskets, gauges, hose fittings, hydraulics, industrial hoses, lubricants, sealing products, tubing, fire protection, and more. All at volunteerhose.net. If Volunteer Hose and Gasket doesn't have it, then you probably don't need it. Call them at 615-242-0461.
October is here, and you know what that means. It's the 46th Annual Nashville Oktoberfest. This Thursday through Sunday at Bicentennial Mall in Germantown. General admission is $12. Bring the whole family for a weekend of competitions, local artisans, vendors, live music, incredible food, the Dachshund Derby, and authentic German beer. Tickets available at thenashvilleoktoberfest.com. Prost, y'all!
The Rich Eisen Show. Our next guest, Mark Schlereth.
Never had the chance to meet Rob Lowe, but my college buddies still call me Big Fat Rob.
Oh.
So, yeah, back in the day, you know, I had this mullet. I was pretty fit. And so never had the chance to meet him. Always wanted to, because of the moniker that was sewed upon me.
I would imagine being called any size of Rob Lowe is good.
The Rich Eisen Show from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus.
Your sports live here. WBUZ HD3 Laverne. All around the world on the Game Nashville app. We are the Game Nashville Sports Network. ESPN 94.9. The Fan.
30 years voice of the best sports talk in Middle Tennessee. It's the George Plaster Show, featuring Tennessee Sports Hall of Famers Kelly Holcomb and young gun Billy Derrick. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
Now time for our stat of the day, brought to you by Apple Collision Centers. George has stepped out, so I'm going to take the reins on this one. Since 1999, the Browns have been in QB turmoil since 1999. Who has the most passing yards in a Browns career? Well, the Browns certainly not have had great quarterback play for, seems like, ever. So if I'm just thinking of recent quarterbacks, think of Deshaun Watson. He hasn't been there as long. Going back to, let me go Tim Couch. Tim Couch seems like a reasonable answer.
I'm not on.
I know. Baker Mayfield. That is the answer to our stat of the day. We're going to go ahead and throw it. We had the opportunity to sit down with Clark Lee earlier today. Or when I say we, I mean George. And he gave us some very insightful answers on to Vanderbilt getting the spotlight for the first time as they're set to play Alabama this weekend. College Game Day will be there, ranked versus ranked matchup. Here is a little bit of that.
Clark, I have racked my brain over the last week trying to think about when in my lifetime that Vanderbilt football has ever been involved in a game of the week where it wasn't the other team that created it. You all are at least 50% of the game of the week in college football. So it feels like new territory for this program. Have you talked to your players about kind of that fact?
Oh, well, I mean, we've talked about the opportunity we have where people are paying attention to the game, but also in the same breath. I mean, we say that and then and I'm very clear. It's like really none of this is about that. It's never been about external factors. It's never been about what's created around the program. It's about the connection within the program and how we play and how we prepare and being in our process. So there's awareness, there's excitement. I mean, every competitor wants to play in big games and on big stages, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the football played between the lines that separates one team from the other, and that's where I hope we can put our focus.
Because the sound is literally coming out of this computer right now.
Clearly, Alabama's gotten everybody's attention. If you go to Georgia and win, there's something really good going on. When they opened the season against Florida State, they looked very flat. They didn't look like the old Nick Saban Alabama. Clark, in this last month, what's changed down there?
All of a sudden, the sound started coming out.
Well, I think it's hard in college football because there's no preseason. You go through training camp and then you kind of your team is thrust into the first performance, and so you're still learning a lot about your team and.
Okay.
Conditions were interesting in that game too. There was like a monsoon in the second quarter, I think, and it's just I'm sure it was really hot and muggy and not ideal. So they battled through that. I think you learn a lot about yourself after that first game. You make a lot of improvement from week 1 to week 2.
I know Georgia's seeing a message from 2 minutes ago.
I see a lot of chemistry being developed on the offensive side of the ball for them. The quarterback's playing really well. And
so you said it's the USBC
weapons that are around him are making the plays they need to make, and so look, any well-coached team you hope will progress as the season goes. That's what they're doing. This is a well-coached group. This is a group that's found an identity, and I think strengthened identity over the last year, and the performance and the results are a sign of that.
Clark, the cynical side of me would have said 5-6 years ago, look, if Vandy's close in the fourth quarter, they have no clue how to close the deal.
It's working.
I don't believe that anymore. I think that's one of the areas that you have really won the battle is teaching this group how to close the deal. Where for you has that come from?
I don't have those turned on.
Well, I mean, we it's the game. A lot of times from the outside, there are these like blankets that they lay over the performance. I don't know a
It,
better way
and
to
the
put it,
weird
but
thing is, it's
it's
still
like the
coming. The
lens through
audio is
which they
still
view the
coming out of the
performance
computer.
is it's somehow that we line up in black and gold and we play at Vanderbilt, but we can't do certain things. And the truth is, if you're a good team, you know how to finish. If you're a disciplined team, you know how to finish. If you believe in what you're doing, the people that are involved, you know how to finish. And finishing really is a byproduct of just being in the present. So we spent, look, this is a 5-year process. We're in year 5. It's taken a lot of time to change the way this program interacts with itself, the level of belief within the program, the attitude within the program. I mean, 5 years ago, I had a team that basically didn't show up to play against a top-ranked Georgia team, and it was one of the most miserable afternoons of my life. It's just taken time. It's taken time to transform, but where we are now is totally different. And
It's still
so
coming out of
the
the computer.
perception of our program will change as a ripple effect of all the years of investment here to get us to this point. And I've got a team that believes in itself and believes in what's possible. And, we've had the opportunity this year to battle out of some tight spots, to come from behind at Virginia Tech, to be in a one-score game at
Okay, will
halftime
that
against
turn anything off
South
from the
Carolina and
air?
battle back to, it's just we're becoming battle tested. A year ago, it was all about the one possession games. We haven't had that yet, and obviously, when push comes to shove, it's going to be our detail and our execution that allow us to win when those margins are tight that way. But I'm proud of this group, but it has been 5 years of a change in mentality here, and in person by person, we've gotten to a point now where there's wholehearted belief in what's possible for this group.
So the word belief to me is the whole deal. Was beating Alabama a year ago the final piece of belief? The heck, we can do anything.
Yeah, so what we say in our program is belief is a practice, and so that really drives kind of habits, behaviors every day for us. Saturday performances aren't based off Saturday; they're Monday to Friday, and truthfully, I mean, we can trace the lines back to January, honestly, in terms of the team, the program, the foundation, and so what the game against Alabama was last year was the learning we had suffered through against Georgia State and Missouri, where we realized that we were only going to be able to win if we played a very specific way, and that was eliminating penalties and avoiding 3-and-outs and so on and so forth. All that came together in the game against Alabama. So it was a first instance of, not not the winning of a game, because I felt like a year ago that Virginia Tech win was a really big deal for us in overtime. We obviously also made that hard on ourselves through the middle of that game, but then we were able to separate from Alcorn State. And then you have 2 setbacks and you realize, hey, you're not entitled to performance and you've got to actualize performance. And so we took the learning, we applied it, we found the result. And I think that gave way to just this process of replication that got us to 6 a year ago and ultimately to 7. This team is different just because we've got the foundation of knowing how we get results here. And now, in our minds, it's, how far can we take that? And that's what's gotten us to this point where, we're 5-0 and we're playing against a big game on a big stage. In a big game on a big stage. And that's just, that's what you yearn for as a coach, as a player. And, we don't want it to end this weekend. We want to keep chasing it. And so we've had a good week of prep.
Mark, I'm not a weatherman, but I think I know enough. It's going to be 85 to 90 at 2:30 Saturday in Tuscaloosa. Isn't this where your depth and how many people you're playing on the defensive end should really help you?
It should. I mean, we've also the way we've played throughout the season where we've been able to rest our top line guys as games have worn on. You needed to show up. We've trained out in the heat. I think it's been hot. There's been sun exposure here too. So I feel like we'll be prepared, but certainly we're anticipating it being warm, and we know at least in that first half there's going to be a ton of sun exposure on our sideline, and again, we got to have faith in our depth to weather that and play our brand.
Good luck Saturday. Okay, so clearly this is a game that, and I kind of started the interview with Clark this way. In my lifetime, I cannot think of a time where Vanderbilt has ever been involved in what I would call the national game of the week in football, where it had anything to do with them. But the fact of it is, it's close to 50-50 as to why this is a national game of the week. Certainly, Alabama did their part a week ago when they upset Georgia in Athens, but Vandy's done their part as well. They're 5-0. They've answered every challenge. They beat Alabama a year ago. They are part of the reason that this is getting all this attention. And so, number one, you've got a Vanderbilt group that's delirious about where their football team is, but you've not got now another group that's kind of sitting there going, wow, out of curiosity, I want to know how they stack. And I'm going to be really interested when the numbers come out next week. There's no way to know right now how the game's going to turn out. You would assume that if there were such a thing as a blowout, that Alabama as the home team would be the team doing the blowing out, but that may be a very unfair assessment of the whole thing. So assuming the game is pretty competitive, I can't wait to see what the local numbers are on this game. Now, I'm told Kelly Holcomb has rejoined us in studio. And so, Parker, if we can, let's see if we can bring Kelly up and get him in here. Nice three-way box.
Look at that.
So, Kelly,
what's up?
I told everybody, first of all, kind of what you're dealing with. And we want you to know that our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family as you go through what is a really difficult experience.
Yeah, hold on for a second, George. Yeah, it's not been fun for the last couple of days, man. And he's at the end right now. And, it's just, it's an end of life deal that everybody's going to have to go through. And you've done, we've talked about it quite a bit. You've done it. And, it's just getting everything in order, man. And I've hated that I wasn't able to be on here, but, sometimes things just come up, man, and you just can't help it. And that's kind of what I'm going through. So, but it's good being on here with you guys, man. I get away from it a little bit and I can relax and talk sports.
So, Kelly, there is, in my lifetime, I mentioned it, first time I can ever remember Vanderbilt football being involved in the game of the week, where they had a considerable amount to do with why it was the game of the week. I'm really curious locally what kind of audience that game gets on TV.
Man, it's going to be interesting. I think Vanderbilt's a pretty good football team, and obviously I've talked about it several times. But the belief they have in their quarterback, and the belief that they think that they can win. They're 5-0 for only the second time in how many years, George? It's been like 80 years or something like that. Am I mistaken on that?
Well, they did it in 2008 with Bobby Johnson. They then went to Mississippi State after beating Auburn and lost 10-7 in a game where they really kind of it was kind of a dud, to be perfectly honest. This is new territory.
This is new territory, man, and I think it's going to be a really good game. I don't think they're going to slip up on Alabama, though. Alabama had a big win the other night against Georgia at Georgia. I thought I was talking with one of my friends who's a huge Alabama fan, and I kind of agreed with him. That's the most physical I've seen Alabama play in a couple of years now. I mean, they played really physical, and they stood up to the test against Georgia. And when Georgia made a play, they would come back. I thought Ty Simpson looked really good. I thought defensively, it wasn't the best defense that Nick Saban ever had, but they played good the other night, and they may be coming on. They may be starting to hit their stride, and it's going to be interesting. Vanderbilt's not going to sneak up on them. I promise you that. Y'all know that.
Okay, Kelly, here's what we're going to do after the break. I want to talk about Cam Ward and really where all of this is because, as you know, this has started to become much more of a national story. 17 sacks in the first 4 games. And I'm not saying all of it is his offensive line because I think some of it is he's holding the ball too long. But I keep thinking about David Carr, who got beat all to hell as a rookie with the Houston Texans and was never the same. So that's sort of where we're going to go after the break. Stay tuned. This is the George Plaster Show.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
A golf cart from Mikey's Motors is the perfect way to get around this summer. Whether you're going to the park, the pool, or the playground, do it in a brand new golf cart from Mikey's Motors, Franklin and Murfreesboro.
Summertime fun in Tennessee. That's what we sell at Mikey's Motors. Come see how we roll. Come see how we roll.
Here's Officer Garen Hoskins for the Metro Nashville Police Department.
The Metro Nashville Police Department is on the forefront of policing in this century, and I'm glad I'm a part of it. I'm glad I get to find other good officers, other future good officers. And if you're watching today, or you yourself or someone you happen to know is interested, join MNPD.com. Feel free to reach out to us because we need good officers, and it's a great city to work for.
When we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just the
Star Physical Therapy was established in 1997 with one great mission: to serve. If you're hurting, don't wait to receive physical therapy. You don't need a referral to see their physical therapist, and early morning and evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday. Benefits. Hancoast works. Are you looking for expert medical care in Nashville without leaving your home? Medical House Calls brings concierge-level health care directly to your door. Whether you need urgent attention, ongoing primary care, revitalizing IV therapy, or medically guided weight loss, our experienced providers are just a phone call away at 615-838-2375 or go online, Medical House Call. It's easy to say good things about the folks at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers. Number one, I trust them with something that's near and dear to me, the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. But more importantly, I see the fun people have. They enjoy the bowling, they enjoy the camaraderie, and you will too. Come by any of their locations and get ready to have some fun. 2375 or go online, medicalhousecalls.com.
ESPN Radio lives here. Your sports live here on ESPN 94.9 The Fan.
We are back on this Wednesday afternoon. Kelly Holcomb has rejoined us, and it's good to have him on board with us. Kelly, I'm going to put up sort of a stat line graphic about where Cam Ward is right now. And what it will show you for the season are these numbers. 64 out of 125, so barely over 50%, where the league average is way up more toward 60, 62%. 614 yards, couple of touchdowns, a couple of interceptions. It's the bottom stat that's most concerning to me. 17 sacks, 11 in the first 2 games. That projects to 72 for the season. And that is scary. That's the kind of beating that will kill a quarterback and ruin his confidence. First of all, Kelly, you watch him. Is it more the offensive line, or is it more that he's holding the ball too long?
It's a little bit of both, George. It takes some getting used to in the National Football League. He did play at a big school in Miami, and he had the NFL guys coming after him. But like when you get in the National Football League, that's the best of the best, and you just don't understand the speed sometimes when you step in there and you take a drop and you're used to the speed outside, but now you've got nose tackles and now you've got defensive ends that can fly and they just get there so fast, and that's what they're paid to do, George. So it has a little bit to do with both. I mean, and Tom Moore, my man Tom Moore, you said it's all on the offense because everybody on the offense has something to do with one pass play. The line's got to know who they're blocking and they got to give you time. If the back has one of his guys come, he has to pick that up. The receivers have to know and the tight ends have to know that if that guy is not picked up, then somebody's got to have a hot route or a hot adjustment, or the quarterback's got to figure it out and he's got to fix the protection. And then the guys outside, if they don't have hot responsibilities, then if they're supposed to go a curl route, you're supposed to go 12 yards back to 10 or whatever their yardage is. So it's a timing issue. So everybody contributes to sacks. And a lot of times it is the offensive line. Sometimes it's the quarterback holding the ball because the guy didn't get his depth, or he got too much depth, or he didn't go where he was supposed to go. So that all plays into that, George. And it's a complicated thing sometimes, but it just, me watching these games, man, they're struggling protecting guys. They're struggling protecting him. And sometimes he does hold on to the ball too long, but he's a rookie. And it takes time for him to understand the game and to understand the speed of the game. And, that 64 out of 125 is not very good. And I heard you bring up, David Carr, and you're absolutely right, because I was playing when he was playing, and I can remember when he got drafted by the Houston Texans, and they were an expansion team, and he was not good because he got beat crazy, and he just never could come back from that. I don't think Cam Ward is that type of guy. I think he's a mentally tough kid. I think he understands that he's got to keep going out there each and every week and try to get better, try to get his completion percentage up, try to get rid of the ball, try to bring his guys with him. But it is sometimes because you can lose your confidence when you're getting hit that much.
So, Kelly, then you get to the whole, okay, what's the right way to do this? Because it seems from the very beginning, and I realize this is a classic second guess after the fact, and really maybe not fair to the Titans what I'm about to ask, but here goes. Okay, you have the scenario where you break the rookie quarterback in 4 or 5 weeks into the season, but clearly they made no effort to get a backup quarterback, of one of the higher echelon backup quarterbacks that are out there. Did they do Cam Ward a disservice by basically saying from day one, it's yours till death do us part?
Well, I mean, they did that when I was playing. Just my personal experience, they did that with Peyton. I was Peyton's backup. He was the number one pick, and that was they gave him the keys to the Cadillac when they drafted him. When they signed him, he had the keys to the Cadillac. Now, obviously, that turned out great for the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, that's just how when you're the number one pick, George, I've said this over and over on this show. When you're the number one pick and you're the quarterback, you are starting. Everybody kept talking about, well, are they going to let Will Levis compete and do all that? No. You're the number one pick of the draft. That's not happening. So, yeah, they gave him the keys to the car. I don't think it was too early. I think he's a mature guy. I really do. And I think I'm still going to stick by this. I stuck by with what I said about Will Levis last year, but I'm going to stick by this. They've got a quarterback for the future. I really believe that. Now, has he showed it right now? Absolutely not, because you don't have guys around him that are good enough to step up and play. He just doesn't have that right now. But I think they've got guys. I think they've got the guy that is driving the Cadillac, I think they got him. And I hope he can stay healthy, and I hope he can get through this season with his confidence, because that's the only thing that I'm scared about it. You just brought it up, George. You can lose your confidence when you're getting hit that much, and when you're used to winning games, and now you come into the National Football League and you can't win a game, it wears on you mentally. I've been there.
Parker, I looked at you shaking your head. Where are you going with this?
I've seen everything that I need to see to know that Cam Ward is the guy for the Titans. It's almost like for lack of a better example, a Chicago Bears situation where all the right pieces were in place. It was just it boiled down to the coaching. But with the Titans, you don't have the coaching aspect and you don't have all the players around him either. So how is he supposed to succeed? You have a turnstile at right tackle. Injuries. Your leading receiver is a 4th-round rookie. Calvin Ridley's dropping passes left and right. You have one running back that you can rely on. Tajay Spears has been on IR. The defense, about Jeffrey Simmons, is about the only good player right now. So it's just there's so much going on around him. I don't understand why people pile on Cam Ward. I mean, what is the guy supposed to do?
No, let me say this. I don't think we're piling on. I think we're asking the question. If he has 72 sacks in his rookie year, what level of damage is this going to do? I think the general public's pretty cool with Cam Ward. They're not cool with anything else about this franchise, but they're pretty cool about Cam Ward. Kelly, go ahead.
I'm going to go back to what I used to hear from Tom Moore all the time. He was not going to let Peyton. He was not going to let me. He was not going to let his quarterbacks get hit. So if you can't protect, what do you have to do? You have to leave guys in the backfield, and you have to sift. You have to chip guys on the defensive end. You have to keep a tight end in. Like when you go 4 wideouts, or when you take the tight end and you move him out, you're leaving a soft edge where it's really close. It's really close to get to the quarterback. But when you have tight ends there, they have to maintain gap integrity, and they have to maintain the edge. So they have to move out. So now if you're chipping him with a tight end, or if you're making him move out and you're chipping him with a back, you give him a split more second of having some more time to throw the football. And Tom Moore, he's like, I don't care if we get one guy out. I'm not going to get you hit. I'm just not going to do it. And I think that's where the old coaches were. This new era is like, you're going to mold to my stuff. And, if we can't protect, I see it now in college. You can't protect the quarterback, so they're just expecting them to run around. And when you get to the National Football League, you can't do that much. You have to protect him, and you have to there's ways that you can protect him, and just, have two receiver routes. Just have 2 guys out on the route, but it makes sure that he gets protected.
That's why Shanahan and McVay and Kevin O'Connell, they make guys look like superstars all the time. Why? Because one, they know who the quarterback is. They have a relationship with him, and they know what his strengths are. If you don't know what the quarterback's strengths are and you just expect them to run whatever system you have, it's not going to work. And Kelly, are you talking about Cam Ward moving the pocket with him, having him go out on the run?
Hey, absolutely. That's a great idea. Like, if you can't protect, move the pocket with him. If you can't protect, put a tight end in there. Chip him, make the defensive end go out a little bit further, because he got to maintain the edge if you run an outside zone. So have him chip, and then that's going to give your right tackle or your left tackle field. And then, they chip, or they're looking to their guys, and then if anybody comes through, they're sifting through that, they pick him up. It just gives you a split second more, and just have 3 receiver routes or 2 receiver routes, but make sure the young man's protected so he has time, because he's got ability. And if you move the pocket, that's also another way, Parker, of giving him a little bit more time where he can get the pass off.
So, okay, let's try it this way. I'm going to assume for argument's sake that based on what I've seen, things might get a tad bit better simply because they can't get any worse. So let's go with, as the season goes on, it gets a tad bit better. I don't see where you can say there's going to be marked improvement, because as I look at their roster, there's no reason to believe it. So if it gets a tad bit better, what do you think this season does to him?
Cam Ward?
Yeah.
Man, you've just gotta be constructive with yourself and get in there in the film room. Like my coaches used to always have cut-ups of the passes that I missed, like the passes that were incomplete throughout the year, and you would look at that and you would like study why did this happen, or there's other things that you can look at. But I think you have to critique yourself, and I think you have to say, hey, he's a number one pick for a reason, guys. I've talked about that, George. You're going to a really bad football team. Now, I don't know if they thought it was going to be this bad, but when you struggle protecting a quarterback who is, I mean, it's the most important position. I think Parker would agree. It's the most important position in all of professional sports. I really do. It's like if you do not have a quarterback in the National Football League, and now it's got to college. Used to you could get away with that. You could just hand it off to Bo Jackson or Herschel Walker. And back in the '80s and the '90s, you could get away with that. You can't get away with that anymore. You have to have a guy behind center that can play ball and is a player. And if you don't, you're behind the eight ball. So I think he's got to take a critique about himself, George. But I'm gonna move away from that a little bit because I'm worried about. Here's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the effort now because I think guys, and I've talked about locker rooms before, I don't think the guys believe in what they're being told anymore, and they're teetering on playing and not playing anymore. Like if it's, and I've said this before, if a game starts off okay, man, we're going to play. We got a chance to win this one. But if it starts off bad, that's when guys in the National Football League understand they're bad and they say, hey, we're not very good, and I'm not playing anymore. I'm just done.
Okay.
I'm going to go through the motions.
Let me stop there because I want to make a point because I've believed that, but I never played in the National Football League. My football experience is fifth grade Gray Y. Thus, I went into broadcasting. Okay. But you're saying this not only with knowledge where you look at a game and you see things way more clearly than I do, but I get the feeling you've also got some information that tells you that locker room has completely lost trust.
Well, I'm not saying that I have any information, but I can see it, and I've been in it.
But you're not saying you don't.
Well, but I've been in stuff like that, George.
He hasn't denied.
I've been in stuff like that, George, and they always say you don't want the offense against the defense, but let's be honest. I mean, that's human nature. When the offense is not very good and the defense is playing really good and they're holding them to 10 points and we're getting beat 10-6, the defense is going to start getting pissed off. And then the offense, on the other hand, if they're scoring 40 points and the defense can't stop them and they're scoring 45, there's going to be some tension there, I promise. I mean, that's just the way it goes, and this is a money-driven league now. It's a production-driven league. It's always been a production-driven league, but the money and the production, if it ain't there, and like the defense, like I'm telling you, when you're having the struggles that the Tennessee Titans are having on offense, the defense look around and say, guys, I mean, we're doing the best we can do, but we can't win these games, man. I'm sorry. Our offense is not good, and we're not getting any help. And then when things start going bad, it snowballs, and then you get guys giving up. You get guys giving up on plays or not hustling to the ball. That stuff happens, George, and I've been in it.
Go ahead.
That same thing happened last year with the defense. The offense 3-and-out. And the defense is on the field, it seems like a majority of the game, well over 50%. And there's only so much they can do because they're out there and they could force a stop. But if the offense keeps turning the ball over, keeps giving the other offense opportunities for good field position, this defense doesn't have the horses to keep up. So there's only so much they can do. But when you have a head coach who doesn't know the rules, one, as we saw in the Denver game, cost the team a touchdown, cost the team a field goal versus the Rams, and keeps making these same mistakes. He was brought in to be the play caller, and now he's having to turn to somebody else. If I'm a player in that locker room, there's no way I'm trusting the coaching staff anymore.
Tell them what you think, Parker. I like it.
Got a little fire in my gut.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so I want to go back a few years ago, and Kelly, you might remember this, and then again, you might not. Amy Adams Strunk, the owner, sort of put out very publicly, as her old man used to do from time to time, sort of an edict to Mike Vrabel, protect Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I don't know if I remember it, but that's what you got to do. And then you have to protect your quarterback.
Well, it was after Mariota had gotten beaten around pretty good. She kind of put that out publicly. And I'm kind of curious, does she even know the stat that I'm reading? 11 sacks in the first 2 games, 17 in the first 4, which projects out to right at 72 for the season. If she was that concerned about Marcus Mariota, and rightfully so, she might need to be internally telling Brian Callahan, you know, if you want to be something other than dead man walking, you damn well better keep my quarterback upright.
I agree, man. That was Tom Moore's whole philosophy, man. You can't win a game without your quarterback being upright. And he was absolutely right. I learned a lot from that old man, but he was absolutely right on that. You have to know protections. You have to know everything about the offense, but you have to keep guys in. Like if you keep 8 guys in, the max protect, if you keep 8 guys in or 9 guys in, I mean, hey, we've got to be able to protect Cam Ward to give him a little bit of confidence and to let him use his ability to throw the football. And if you can't do that up front with your offensive line, they're struggling. Then you got to bring more guys in, and it gets vanilla, but at least you're keeping him upright, and he has a chance. Right now, he doesn't have a chance.
Okay, we're going to go to the break on that, and then I want to open it up wherever you all want to take it. And if it's the subject of Cam Ward, I'd love to hear that. I want to know what some of you all are thinking, because I'll admit the stat caught me off guard, the projection of 72 for the season. And the first time I heard it, the first 2 words out of my mouth were David Carr. And that's concerning. Anyway, phone lines are available, 615-759-9949. Again, 615-759-9949. So with that, we'll go to the break. This is the George Plaster Show.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
Sports and Social at Green Hills Mall is the new home for our Football Night in Nashville promotion. Their food is terrific. Their TV setup looks like a racing sports book in Vegas. And if you're a sports fan, you can't beat it. Starting September the 4th, we'll broadcast from Sports and Social every Thursday night. There's Pop-A-Shot, great football, and the chance to win a beautiful Mikey's Motors golf cart. See you at Sports and Social in Green Hills Mall. Star Physical Therapy.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Donnelly Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique, luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Convenience and value, 2 words that we expect when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just that, both to our school partners and to our customers. Whether you're purchasing photos, yearbooks, Class jewelry, letter jackets, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience easy, convenient, and cost-effective. Find out more at jhacompany.com or call 615-867-6345 for more information. JHA, one source, one company.
Okay, we are back on this Wednesday afternoon. We're going to take some phone calls, and we're going to start with Clay in Nashville. Clay, welcome into the George Plaster Show.
George, first of all, I wanted to tell you, luckily I turned the show on yesterday just in time to hear Will's interview, and that was really good. I really enjoyed that. And, you know, I don't know if there's a limit for, you know, what you can give, but obviously, you know, I'm somebody who cares about Vanderbilt men's basketball, and I'd be willing to give, you know, if at all possible. But I just wanted to say that on the front end. It was a great interview. You know, the way I see the game this week, is, you know, I think Vandy's kind of playing with house money. You're looking at a bye week, and then you got LSU coming to town. You know, hopefully we go down there and compete, play hard. If we don't win the game, it's okay, and that's certainly not the old Vanderbilt moral victory story. I think this team is well past that. But I think this offense has enough weapons, and Diego Pavia is a good enough leader and is putting up unbelievable numbers where, you know, we can score some points on them. So it's going to come down probably to the defense, and if they're able to stop, you know, Alabama's playing well, coming off a big win over Georgia, but I'm certainly looking forward to it. And I think game day is great exposure for the program too.
Yeah. Kelly, the thing that to me, you know, obviously they've got a quarterback at a level that they haven't had in a long time. But to me, another piece of this is when you watch them, you don't know what's coming. In the old days, Vanderbilt football had zero deception. As late as Clark Lee's third year with Joey Lynch as the offensive coordinator, it was as Cro-Magnon as it gets. I look at them now, and there's a lot of eye candy. There's a lot of misdirection. You don't know what's coming. And I think that's part of the problem of why people are having so much trouble defending them.
I always give it to Clark Lee. I always say he was smart enough to go get guys that knew what they were doing in Jerry Keel and Tim Beck. They understand the game of offense, and when they run what they run, it's a tough defense to stop. And Alabama found that out last year because they wanted to fight at the end of the game because they could not get them off the field, and they couldn't get them off the field on third down. The first down was leading up to that because they could not stop them. And when you got a young man in Diego Pavia that's running that option stuff from the gun and he understands it, man, it's tough, George, and that's what these new offenses do. They give you a lot of eye candy. You know, some guys are stuck back in the day, but these new coordinators, and some of them are still back in the Stone Ages because they're very simplistic. But watching Vanderbilt, man, it's fun to watch those guys. It's fun to watch Diego Pavia. And they give you a lot of different looks, and he can throw from anywhere. He can throw from any angle. He's not very big, but I enjoy watching Vanderbilt. I really do. And I'm going to say it again. When you got a guy that's behind center that knows what he's doing and the team has confidence in, it makes the defense better. It makes special teams better. It makes coaching better. It makes coaches look a lot smarter than they are. So it's enjoyable watching them. And I think you'll have a game this weekend. I really do, against Alabama.
Clay, anything you want to add before we go to another call?
Yeah, I'll be quick. I just wanted to say to my boy Kelly, Hoss, I hope everything's okay in your world. I know you've been away from the show, and any time that I give you a hard time, it's all just fun, man, because I truly do, Kelly. You played football at the highest level, and I have a ton of respect for you just because of that. Just wanted to say that.
Well, Clay, I appreciate that, man. Hey, anything you can throw at me, I promise you, it was 10 times worse in my quarterback meeting rooms. I promise you.
Who was the worst of all those quarterbacks, Kelly? Thank you,
Couch
Clay.
was ridiculous. Couch was ridiculous. Now, when we were in Cleveland, we had 4 country dudes. We had me, Couch, Josh Booty, and Nate Hibble. Josh Booty played at LSU, and Nate Hibble played at Georgia, and then he went on to Oklahoma. But we're all country as cornbread. And you talking about that room right there? Wow. Some of the conversations we had, wow.
What was Couch like?
Clown. Still
Clown?
is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're still really good friends. We talk quite a bit. Everybody tried to pin it. They try to pin us against each other because we were competing with each other. But I love Tim, man. He's an awesome, you got to get to know him, but he's an awesome guy. And he's from Leslie County, Kentucky, which is right next to Hazard. There's nothing there.
That's not Las Vegas, is it?
No, it is not. That's many miles from Las Vegas.
Let's go, Tony in Nolensville. Tony, thank you for waiting.
Good afternoon, guys. And Kelly, I want to echo Clay's sentiments, whatever's going on in your life right now. I hope everything gets better and y'all get whatever it is taken care of. And prayers to you, buddy.
Appreciate it, Tony. Thanks.
A little bit out there.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. As far as backing up Clay on what he's saying about this game this weekend, guys, I'm going to call it right now. I've called Vanderbilt 33, Alabama 24. I might be way high, but Vanderbilt can score points. Alabama's defense, I think, has got holes in it. I think they're a Swiss cheese defense. They've leaked oil. And let's be truthful here. They should have lost to Georgia. Georgia had them beat twice in the fourth quarter. Kirby Smart, his butthole got tighter than Pat's butt when he couldn't figure out whether to take the field goal with 8 minutes to go or go for it. He went for it and it backfired on him. And then late in the game, 3 minutes ago, he had a receiver to get behind 3 defenders, and the freshman dropped the pass. So they were beat twice. So I do think Vanderbilt can go down there and expose their defense on the running game. Alabama's defense is 14th in the SEC against the run. So the holes are there, and Vanderbilt, with all their weapons, all their confusion, I just think they can go down there and do something. Clark Lee has put together a team, guys, from a lot of winners, from a lot of different levels, Kelly, that they've come together and they're playing like George. You and I have never seen a Vanderbilt team play like this one here. Now they
Not
might
even
go
close.
there and get beat. Right, we hadn't seen nothing like it. I mean, they're setting records back in 1950. That was before my dad, like to say. So they're not my dad. They're not your dads or grandparents. We've never seen nothing like this. And they're scoring points just out of, all kind of ways. But with that being said, I just think Vanderbilt's got the team. I think, Kelly, their offense is better than Alabama's defense. And I just think that's what it's going to be. Now, one other quick thing I want to say to y'all, and I did not know y'all knew this. Kelly, I learned this past week. 2 weeks ago when Ole Miss played Tulane, it was real hot on the field and everything. Ole Miss chose to do their warm-ups in the indoor facility, which is next door to Boyd Hemingway Stadium down there at Ole Miss. There's a SEC rule, and it might be an NCAA rule, but George, I think it's SEC rule, where a team can warm up anywhere else they want to other than the field if it's a non-conference game. If it's a conference game, you have to warm up on the field at least 30 minutes prior to kickoff. But Ole Miss did this. I did not know it was even a thing, but they did that 2 weeks ago against Tulane. They warmed up in their indoor facility. I didn't know if y'all knew that rule or something. And I do believe
never heard that.
That's pretty smart, Lane Kiffin, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think it was great. Another good move by Lane Kiffin, sure was. And I do believe the Cubs are going to be 1-1 after today. We're going to be playing to continue on tomorrow, guys. See you,
3-0.
George. Another call in, buddy. See ya.
Hey, thank you, Tony. 3-0 going to the ninth inning. Okay, help me. Give me a 30-second answer to this, Kelly. What's the advantage?
You don't go out there and like they're going into a controlled environment where the AC's going if they're in their indoor facility and they're not out there and they're not sweating like they normally do. You're just saving their legs a little bit. You're making them fresher for the game. In my opinion, That was a pretty smart move. I've never heard that. That was awesome.
I had never heard that either. Tyron in Brentwood. It's never dull when he calls. What's going on?
Good to be with you again, living legend. And just want to say again, Kelly, thinking of you and hoping everything works out good with you and your family. And definitely thinking of you, present with you, and God bless you and your family, sir.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Couple of things, George. I'm gonna come to you, Hall of Famer. 2 things. If the Yankees fall out today, is Aaron Boone gone? And number 2, your BGA, they took it on the chin this week against FRA, but hey, they're gonna bounce back because they are legit. And I think that was part of, maybe they took their foot off the gas, cut off the halftime. I don't know, but I think if they see FRA again, they'll take care of them. You got one problem, George. The greatest high school coach who ever lived resides in Boyd Buchanan, and that's going to be your bugaboo come November. I'm hearing the commentary around here, FRA, BGA, Boyd Buchanan's going to win state in that division. Trust you.
Oh, boy.
Well, only time will tell. So, Kelly, here's what was bad. So Friday night, I'm working the Greek festival at our church.
Yeah.
And the Greek, from the top, from the hill, I can see FRA Stadium, which is just down the road on Franklin Road. I wanted so bad to take that golf cart and just say, you know what? Y'all need to walk up the hill. I'm taking the golf cart over to FRA. Now, what was the first thing? Oh, the Yankee thing. I don't think it's going to happen because I think you got a GM in Brian Cashman who loves Aaron Boone, who is stuck by him through thick and thin. But last night's decision to pull Max Fried with a shutout in the 7th, I know more about Max Fried than just about anybody because I've watched him for years with the Braves. That kid is a bulldog. Unless he went to Aaron Boone and said, I'm out of gas, I'd have made him tell me I'm out of gas. Luke Weaver, back to the bullpen. Hey, Tyron, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Take care.
He knows a thing or two about Boyd Buchanan.
Hey, Boyd Buchanan, Coach Rankin, man, he's down there doing it again, man.
Yes.
They're pretty
He gets
good.
to recruit them kids. Yeah.
It's not his first rodeo, is
BGA
it?
better watch out, George.
You just
No, it is
fight
not.
down over there. you get have you why have you not shown everybody your little Cub shirt? Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Whatever. I can see why you were trying to hide it.
There's a reason
Whatever,
for that.
Parker.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. By the way, they're not going to win today.
I'm fully aware. Thank you, George.
You're welcome. Are you now prepared for Plaster Bet of the Day?
I am prepared
Well,
for
good.
Plaster
Let's do it.
Bet of the Day.
Let's do it.
Plaster's Bet of the Day is brought to you by Bart Durham Injury Law, and we have Kelly here to witness. We have Kelly here to witness. I don't think this was updated from yesterday. Can you remind me, George, what your bet was?
It was the Yankees.
It was the Yankees. So you're 48, 51, and 2.
Yeah. Thank you,
You're welcome,
Parker, for your
You reminded me about the Cubs. I remind you about your bet of the day.
desire to be accurate. Okay, so we're 3 under 500, and Kelly, guess where I'm going tonight?
Tell me.
The Yankees.
Oh,
And
gosh,
either
I'm not-
way, I win. If the Yankees win, I get a little closer to 500. If the Yankees lose, we get them the hell out of this thing. That would be great, wouldn't it?
You would sleep good, wouldn't you, George?
Oh, I would absolutely love it.
This was a smart bet on your part, sir.
Yeah, because it covers all angles.
Yeah.
I know you
Okay.
asked Terry about it. I know you asked Terry about it to start off the show. What did he say?
Well, we had some problems getting Terry on, so
We don't have
Was
to.
it was
disclose
it
that
was
right
it Parker's fault?
now. Oh, Kelly, it was all your fault.
Parker, that is a $100 fine on your part. Just put it in the little cubby. We'll go out to eat on your half.
Here's what I know. Terry did not wear that nasty hat today that I think is about 50 years old. I don't think the thing's been washed in a while. He wore it yesterday. I wanted to puke.
So the hat is slightly younger than Kelly.
Parker.
That's interesting.
Parker, I see you there.
Kelly, I'm very happy to have you back, just in case you can't tell.
We both are.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I
I've
appreciate
got
it.
10 seconds to tell you underdog picks come up tomorrow, and I'm going to be a happy camper. See you then on 94.9 The Fan. This is the George Plaster Show.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Laundry piling up? Make it easier with the latest washers and dryers from Electronic Express. We carry top brands like LG, Samsung, Speed Queen, Whirlpool, and GE. So whether you need an all-in-one unit, stacked unit, front load, or top load, we've got that. With free delivery, the guaranteed lowest prices, and up to 24 months free financing, upgrading your laundry room has never been easier. Find your perfect setup in-store or online, only at Electronic Express. We've got that.
October is here, and you know what that means. It's the 46th Annual Nashville Oktoberfest. This Thursday through Sunday at Bicentennial Mall in Germantown. General admission is $12. Bring the whole family for a weekend of competitions, local artisans, vendors, live music, incredible food, the Dachshund Derby, and authentic German beer. Tickets available at thenashvilleoktoberfest.com. Prost, y'all.
Now, here's your latest Fox 17